everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Renee Williams. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I'm so excited for you to join us on our virtual meeting tonight. We have special guest, Jen Ondrako. Woo! And I'm so excited to introduce her because I have, I met Jen, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago now. I think I was in DIQ actually when Jen moved to Charlotte, and I met her, so kind of right at the beginning of my directorship journey. But Jen has been in Mary Kay for almost 11 years. She held the position of a sales director for 8 years and currently is a future sales director. She has driven 2 Mary Kay free cars, did the Queen's Court of Personal Sales twice, 38 quarters as a star. Oh, you know how many prizes she has? That is crazy, and probably high levels of stars. She has been in the top 10 and the top 20 multiple years in her national area, and her highest monthly check, y'all, over $7,000. And it's so cool because Jen was recruited into Mary Kay from a career fair in college. Graduated and never went into corporate America, decided working for herself was the way to go. So much fun. She slept in and did her own thing for years and years and years. So I love that. Jen, she is married, has, I don't know how many dog babies at the moment, but anyway, I'm going to let her take it away. Thanks so much, Jen, for being with us.
Okay. Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. There's not a whole lot else to tell about me. But yeah, 38 quarters as a star has brought all kinds of fun prizes into my house that I probably would never buy for myself. So I think I've never been a prize motivated person, but gosh, all the cool stuff that we get to have that I would probably not buy for myself. So one of the things I was going to kind of share with you ladies tonight is all about customer service and sales and building relationships with your customers. And I think that's been the key in my achievement in doing Star Consultant so many quarters and achieving Court of Sales. Court of Sales, it was probably one of the funnest achievements. Earning a free car, don't get me wrong, that blows it out of the water. But from a sales perspective, something that you can do solely by yourself is really quite unique. I know sitting behind me on my desk, I keep my little Queen's chairs because I'm always so proud of them. But for me, Court of Sales wasn't about the beautiful dress on stage, and it wasn't about the sash that makes you feel like a beauty queen, and it wasn't about the diamond ring. It really was just for me about money. Court of Sales is $40,000 in sales, $20,000 in profit. Who doesn't want that kind of money in their pocket? And when you can make that in your Mary Kay business, you start to think about, do I really need to have the other job in my life? And so for me, it was really all about that. And for me, it actually paid off a lot of my credit card debt. And so that was huge. And so I totally enjoyed Court of Sales. It's actually on my radar this year to do it again. And so we're working toward that personally this year. And so what I'm going to do with my training tonight, there's going to be kind of, 3 parts. So the first part, I'm just going to kind of give you just some overall customer service stuff that I've learned just working in the hospitality industry before I got into Mary Kay, which was what I did in college. Just some customer service things that Mary Kay offers us as consultants that we can take advantage of. And then just some things that I do personally in my business I guess I feel like it sets me apart. And I think that's one of the things that we have to do as consultants, because now there are so many consultants and people can shop anywhere to get Mary Kay. They jump online, they can use Easy Ship, they can use guest checkout. And so setting yourself apart is really important. So I guess one of the first things to think about is that this actually came from my college, is that it actually costs 6 times as much to attract a new customer as it does to keep an existing one. And so I know so often, we talk about numbers, but if you have customers, it is so easy to keep them than to constantly be looking for more. And so, doing that is committing yourself to quality service and creating that positive environment for your customer that goes above and beyond. Finding a way that they don't want to use Easy Ship or guest checkout because they want to interact with you. Treating people with courtesy and respect, remembering that every contact that you have with a customer is a lasting impression. So using phrases like, "You're welcome," "Thank you for your order," "It's a pleasure serving you." Being grateful that they're your customer. I mean, I constantly remind my customers all the time that it's an honor that they choose me to be their beauty consultant, because they could go anywhere. Especially, I started my Mary Kay business when I lived in Wisconsin. So I have customers there. I have customers when I lived in Richmond, Virginia for 5 years. And I have customers here in Charlotte. And, even in that time, I've had customers who have moved to Missouri and California, and they still want to shop with me. So when they could probably much easier go to someone else. Never arguing with a customer. This was taught to me, when I worked for Kohler Company. The customer is always right. And maybe they're not, but to you and to them, they have to be right. And so figuring out what happened, making it right for them in the moment. And then you can take a step back later and say, okay, what went wrong that this happened? But stats show that 95% of dissatisfied customers will continue to do business with a company again if their complaint is resolved on the spot. And so that is one of the biggest things I think when we work with our customers is, we might meet them at a rose promotion or through a bridal lead or wherever it is. But if we have that initial appointment and we don't follow up with them and they don't like their product or they broke out or it wasn't the right formula and we weren't there to combat that, they're not going to continue buying with you. They're going to be upset with the product. They're going to think, okay, it was a one-time shop and buy, and then they never come back. And that was something that you could have totally avoided and kept them as a customer going forward. And that just leads to the kind of my next point, which is don't leave customers hanging. Call them back, email them, text them. And if they reach out to you, all of those need to be handled like a sense of urgency. Don't wait 2 days to email them back or respond to their product order. Always be there to take care of their service. Be a woman of your word. If you offer something, you follow through with that. And if you don't, you do lose credibility, and then your customers want to shop elsewhere. Focus on the customer and the customer relationship that you can make, not so much on the sale of the customer. Because if they feel like that you appreciate them and you're getting to know them and their needs, they're going to feel more trust in you, and they're probably going to buy even more from you. And so focusing on the person, not so much the sale itself. Making it easy to buy from you. Whatever your systems in place are, make it simple. So they can, if they text you, they get their order. If they go online, they get their order. If they have an email, it gets their order. It's easy, it's simple. However you do it or however they can communicate with you on that, the different ways that you do. And of course, always being appreciative to your customers. And I think I kind of already said that. But some of the things that Mary Kay has in place for us as consultants to help us provide great customer service. And the first one that I'm going to share, and this literally was taught to me as a brand new beauty consultant from my national sales director, who is retired now, but she was trained by Mary Kay. And you probably have heard this, but it's 2 + 2 + 2. I see some people smiling. They're like, I know what that is. But it's, and that equates to when you have that skincare class, 2 days after you follow up with them. How's the product working? How does your skin feel? Is there any questions you have for me? Did you go home and forget what the steps were? That kind of combats some of those things that happen with a customer being dissatisfied and you being able to be on top of it. The second one, so 2 and 2, is following up in 2 weeks with a follow-up appointment. And that appointment can be, I always book a skincare class. I shouldn't say a skincare class, a glamour class. Because they've done skincare, now let's do glamour. But I get them to do an actual skincare class or a party. so that they're bringing their friends and you're turning it into another sales opportunity. And maybe the same people that were at the skincare class with this girl are now at the glamour class with her, but you're having 2 opportunities to be in front of all those people and 2 opportunities to build relationships with them. And that's huge. And that was one thing that Renee and I talked a lot about. And I said, when I look back at my strongest customers in my customer base to date are people who I've had multiple appointments with, and that they've held several parties for me. They've come to events with me. They've, had a lot of contact with me. And the last one is 2 months, and that is your follow-up to reorder. Your customers are not going to call you to reorder majority of the time. You need to reach out to them. And it doesn't have to be, hey, what products do you want to buy now? But it has to be more of a, just wanted to check out to see how you're doing in your products. Do you have any questions? Are you running low on anything? Like, what can I do to be here to help you? And just be there as, reminding them of the service that you provide for them. Mary Kay has, the ability to send birthday card and e-cards. We have new products every quarter. Every quarter is an opportunity for your lookbook to go out to your customer with a sample of the new product. I mean, that's just one way to just keep in touch with them, is doing that PCP and those new products. Gift with purchase. The company has that changing every quarter. And now they give you the option of what you want to give. And, we have all the cool little mini deluxes right now that we can give. And so utilize those. What I'm doing right now is I'm offering the new mascara as the gift with purchase if they spend $40 or more. But if they spend $100 or more, I'm doing the Time-Wise mini repair set, because it costs more to us, but if your customer is spending more, it's worth it. So that's what I've been doing kind of currently with the gift with purchase. Knowing your customers on a personal level, getting to know them just like you would your family or friends. And that was one thing that I think was kind of unique is, when I got married, a lot of my customers were sending me cards and gifts for my wedding. And I was like, I just did not expect that at all. And so that just kind of equates to a relationship that you build with them. And, these are people who they've been shopping with me for 10 or 11 years and they'll never leave. And so it's silly. I would never give up my business because I could probably do nothing and always be able to count on these customers. And that's truly what you want. That's the goal you want for your customer base, is you want to know that they're always going to be there. Quick service. And this we talk about, I'm sure, you've heard this a lot, but this is getting product in your customer's hand in 24 to 48 hours after they order. And that means having product on hand. And I can't stress the importance of that, because I know that I have gained sales at appointments because I have product. I have kept customers because they know if they're having a big meeting tomorrow and they run out of foundation and they need it, they can call me and they're going to be able to get it. And when you can provide that service to your customer, that's just one of the reasons that they're going to just be with you forever and ever and ever. And so that's just, keep that product on hand. Be a ready consultant. Do you have business cards? Do you have a website? Do you carry samples and lookbooks with you all the time? Wouldn't it be horrible if you were meeting someone at the grocery store and started talking to them and they asked what you did and you said Mary Kay, and they said, oh, awesome, can I get a card? And you are like, I don't have one. That's potentially a lost opportunity. So always having that on hand. We have the system online now, which is, since I began as a beauty consultant, it has just built and gotten so much better to store all of your customer information on the Mary Kay in Touch site. Have a profile for each one of your customers. Know when their birthday is. Know what products they liked at their appointment but maybe didn't purchase. These are things that if you decide to run a sale or something comes up, these are people you can reach out to. We talked about PCP, which is your lookbooks, and that's 4 times a year. Statistics show that you should hit your customers via mail 6 times a year. And so for me, it's the lookbook 4 times a year. I do a monthly birthday card, which is number 5, and then I do a Christmas card, which is 6. So something in the mail hits my customers 6 times a year. having a website, making sure people can shop with you online because that's how people want to shop today, and knowing your products, which I know if any of you are brand new beauty consultants listening, you might be like, I don't know anything about the products I sell. And that's okay. Because when I started, Mary Kay, I didn't even use the products. So I learned completely as you go. And, over time, I've learned a lot about product knowledge. And I feel like I'm a product knowledge junkie now. And you could ask me anything and I would know the answer. And I have so much fun when we get these new products now. I mean, this facial peel, I'm just blown away with. I love this product. Like, I thought I loved the microdermabrasion and the way that made my skin feel. This blows that out of the water. And so, it's a new product that I can be excited about and I can learn about and I can share it with my customers. So know your products. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of get into kind of what I do for my customer service. I'm going to kind of walk you through coaching, the party, after the party, the follow-up, the reorder. I'm kind of going to go through the whole process with you. And so let's talk about coaching your hostess for their initial skincare class, their party, whatever appointment is they're due to you. So let's say it's a party. You get the appointment booked. I use the online beauty Evite, which is kind of neat because it actually gives constant reminders to the people on there about their upcoming appointment. So it's like a no-brainer to coaching. And so I send it initially to the hostess, and so she'll get constant reminders of the upcoming appointment. And then I encourage her to invite her friends or encourage her to add her friends' emails to it, and then they'll also get reminders. And if she doesn't want to put it in, and she wants to give them to me, and I'll do it for her. But that's like a no-brainer to coaching. If you have her address, you can send a thank you for booking. We talk about handwritten notes, and I think in today's world, everything is so text and email and social media that when you get a personal card in the mail or a postcard, it means so much more. And so I just get simple postcards, and I mean, it's a couple sentences. Thanks so much for booking with me. I can't wait to get to know you better. Easy done in the mail. I write them sometimes when I'm watching TV at night, relaxing. Or if I'm sitting out by the pool, I'll write them. So easy. And then having constant contact with your hostess. I mean, this is important for that appointment to hold because you'll know if it holds or not. But if she's learning that you're reliable and easy to work with, that's going to be a huge bonus to her continuing business with you. Okay, so let's get to the party. So now we're at the party. It is important to talk about your services that you offer. And I talk about that right in the beginning of my skincare class. I always say the 3 things that we're going to learn tonight. And, one is skincare and all this kind of stuff. But one of them is, the services that I offer. And so I'll talk about how I have birthday discounts and how they get lookbooks with samples 4 times a year. And basically sharing all the benefits of working with me. So they're like, this is what I can expect to have with her as my consultant. And then, of course, talking several times about their follow-up appointment, which I always call it a checkup from the neck up. And so I, talk about how important it is that I meet them, within 7 to 10 days after to make sure all their products are working right. I kind of compare it to when a doctor writes you a prescription. They give you a prescription and they say, we want to see you back in 2 weeks to see how it's going. That's exactly the way it is. And one of the things I stress with that is the 100% satisfaction guarantee. I'm like, we offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. I want to make sure that I honor that for you and that anything you do purchase tonight, you still love in 2 weeks from now. And majority of the time, it's yes. Very rarely do I have no. And then you get that second appointment kind of ingrained in their head. They talk about 7 times for something to be short-term memory to long-term memory. So you want to say it 7 times. So it's in their long-term memory. And so when they do their closing with you at the end, they just know I have to book my follow-up appointment. They don't even question, it's just, we're doing this. And then you turn that into a party and you get a second party booked and you meet their friends and you build that relationship further. So after the party is done, I will send a text thanking the hostess, either whether for the appointment that day, whether she came to the studio to meet me, whether I met her out at her place, whatever it is. I'll send, a thank you card to her as well. I'm really big on handwritten notes, if you haven't noticed. But I also am really big, and everything that leaves my office has my picture on it and my contact information. And I just think, I guess over the years, I guess I have found that people can then constantly remember my face to my name. And so they're always reminded, that's my beauty consultant, and they recognize me and they know who I am. Calling 2 days after, to make sure whatever product they have is still working. And you can ask specific questions based on what you found about them that night. Hey, I know you were talking a lot about having really trouble with dry skin. Is this new product helping you with the dry skin? You can kind of gauge what those questions might be to them when you have that conversation with them. And sometimes you don't get to have a full conversation on the phone with them. Maybe it's through a text message or an email. And that I kind of gauge based on what they fill out on their profile about how they want to be communicated with. Because in today's world, people love text. I mean, if they can be text and answer, then, they did. One of my new potential team members today, she wrote to me that she likes to be text. So we were texting back and forth about how to get signed up as a beauty consultant. So, gauge how you communicate with your customers by what they tell you. My older customers, they want phone calls. So I give them phone calls. So that's follow-up after the party. So let's talk about reorder next. So now we've hit that 2-month mark. So we've gone through 2 days, 2 weeks, and now we're getting to 2 months. So when a customer orders, same day response, don't wait a day or two, respond to her right away. Especially if she's a new customer, you want to make sure that she knows, okay, like when I need to reorder, I get my stuff, I get a response. Not to say that a customer you've had for 10 years, you can just say, oh, I'll get to her in 2 days. Like that's not necessarily okay either, but definitely those new customers pay even more attention to them. I do, on my customer receipts that I do, because now what's really nice is if you fill out on Mary Kay in Touch your customer invoice, you can actually print it, and it comes in a nice, like, professional looking invoice. And so I print them on pink paper because I just think it looks fun, and I'll just write a little note on it, and thanking them for their business, and whether if it's summer, hope they're having a good summer or whatever it is, on there. And I put that within their reorder and I send it off. I'll also, I include samples in all my reorders, little candy, my business card, the current lookbook. I know they get mailed out, but I had read somewhere that if they get a lookbook in their reorder, they're more likely to continue shop and buy more. I don't remember where I read that or where that came from, but I think that's true, because I think if it comes in the mail, it's easy to page through it and throw it away. But if it comes from you again, they're like, oh, well, I remember looking on page 13 at this brand new, eye color that I was, wanted. And then they're reminded about things that they wanted, and they shop more. I always try to deliver a product, either if it's in hand, so if it's somebody I can deliver to, try to do that in 24 to 48 hours. And a lot of times I'm not necessarily seeing them face to face. Sometimes I'm just hanging it on their door. If you have the opportunity to see them face to face, that's always another opportunity to have that customer's, face to face interaction. Because I know it's easy to say, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it on the door because it saves us time. But in the long run, think about just the extra few minutes that you did spend and how that can benefit you in the long run with that customer. If you're having to mail it, I always try to choose priority because you can get it in 2 to 3 days. And I know we have customer delivery service now, and I still try to avoid using that because, one, I like to get product off my, circular, because I always keep a lot of product on my shelf. But it allows me to kind of put my personal touch to the package as opposed to just the generic box. And I know the box that comes from Mary Kay now with customer service is beautiful, and it says, all kinds of cool stuff on it, but it doesn't come from me. And so it doesn't have, my personal note or my samples or just some of the little things that I do. So I still like to send product myself. Like I said, I have little samples I put in there, a little thank you note on their invoice, and just some things that I kind of do ongoing. And so I'll do quarterly discounts on new product that comes out, because it's a way to feature the new products to your customers and get them to try it. Usually the first week of launching, I'll do like 4 or 5 days where they can get the new products, at a good price. I did start this year a new program, because I really am focused on doing the company quarter sales again, is doing a monthly product of the month. And I'm choosing basically one skincare product, or I should say, it's skincare. It's a time-wise product, and I'll deeply discount it for the month. And my goal with that is, my goal this year is to really focus on getting every one of my customers on a full skincare set. So a full miracle set, full botanicals, full time-wise repair. Because, that's where the money is in this business, is those skincare sets. An eyeshadow can last for a year, and it's like $7. We make $3.50 off of it. That's not going to feed our families. But a $200 time-wise repair set purchased 4 times a year, that's going to put some money in our pocket. And so that's kind of my goal with this, is that if I can educate them on a product, give it to them at a great price, they buy it at this great price, they love it. Now they're on a new product. When they reorder, now they have to pay, they're going to pay full price for it the next time. And they're going to be on the new product. And I think also one of the reasons is we have so many great products in our line that our customers never see. Because when we do a skincare class, we're doing the miracle set, the microdermabrasion, and the eye cream. But what about, the cellulite cream and all other time-wise, supplements that we have that maybe they don't get to see, that we carry, that are awesome. I love the 2-in-1 wash and shave gel. We don't get to demo that at the classes. Nobody wants to see me shave my legs, but I love that product. So that will be on one of my things. So my product of the month, I'll do like spring clean, like trash it, where they can, throw out their old non-Mary Kay products and replace them for Mary Kay products at a great discount. Halloween's coming. I'll do something fun for my customers for that. Black Friday, Super Bowl. Think like a retailer. Retailers have some sort of sale, ongoing all year round. So, and there's Labor Day, they have something. Memorial Day, they have something. And not to say that you have to go and say, oh, it's 30% off everything. Like, do something, unique and different every time. So it's not just all the products, because you don't want to condition your customers to only buy when you have sales. So if you change it up and do different things and different products, you can kind of take advantage of that. I do a referral program. So if one of my customers refers me someone who becomes a customer, like I'll give them a $25 gift card and free product. And I've gotten a lot of new customers that way. I do birthday cards, and they get 25% off on their purchases during their entire birthday month. So it's a way for me to reach them on their birthday month. And then I offer them what I call the Pretty in Pink birthday bash. So if they invite at least 4 of their friends, I'll bring a birthday cake, and we'll do, a pampering session for their birthday. And so it's a way for me to reach out to my customer every year on their birthday. And so you have one more opportunity to kind of get in front of them. And I know that even when you have 2 or 3 skincare classes with the same customers, they end up buying products they're already using, but then branching out to new products that they haven't been using. And so you start getting a customer relationship that's much deeper, but them also actually deepening the amount of products they use, which obviously equates to more money in our pocket. Anniversary. So if they give us your anniversary, like I'll reach out to them on their anniversary, see if they want me to come do their makeup, if they're going to have dinner with their husband, because that's a way for them to see glamour. And it also is a way for me to show them how to do makeup. And then they might think, my friends might want me to do this, or might want to see this. Like, let me do a party and get some free product. I'll do Christmas cards, and I'll pick like my top 100 customers and do like credit back. So based on how much they spent in the year. So if they spent I'll just example, if they spent $100 within the year, like I'll give them a $10 gift card. and they have to use it in January, February. And so that helps to boost my sales in January, February, because sometimes it can be kind of low after the holidays. But it's just kind of one kind of neat thing to do, kind of a give back. I try, like I said, I try not to use the customer delivery service because I like to personalize my own stuff. And when I do ship, I do not charge for shipping. So that is something that's always free on me. We can deduct that on our taxes. And that, I think, is a huge benefit in keeping customers all over the nation, you know, not leaving you for someone local. So that's kind of, and I know I've shared a lot with you, and a lot of these systems have kind of built over the years. Like I said, I've been in Mary Kay going on 11 years this November. So there's a lot of things I've added and perfected and changed over time. So don't try to jump in and do all of these at one time because you might overwhelm yourself, but pick a couple that excite you and run with that. And you can always add and change later as your customer base grows and all that. So I guess we have a few minutes to open up for some questions.
Yes. Jen, oh my gosh. First of all, thank you so much. We are at 6 minutes, a little over 6 minutes left. So that was awesome. I love how you said 6 times, it costs 6 times as much to attract new customers versus keeping customers. Oh, that's awesome. And thank you for walking through these systems. I did see a couple questions down here. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I see. So the system for reminding yourself to follow up with 2 + 2 + 2. That's a good question. So I usually, for the first 2 is easy. I will still have their profile sitting out. So it's easy to remind me to do that text or that call or that email. The 2 weeks, usually when I do the 2-day call, I try to book that 2-week out appointment if I didn't already do it at the skincare class. And so that's an easy to reminder, like, okay, I've got that appointment booked. And then for the 2 months, I mean, I use UnitWise, and they send reminders, but it's also easy for me to, because I keep kind of an envelope every month. This kind of like, you know, goes into like expenses and taxes, but I keep an envelope each month, January, February, March, whatever. And all my receipts for the month, all my sales slips go in there. So I can literally just pull, you know, it's September right now. So I'm going to be calling all of my people from July. So I can pull the July folder and know to call everybody within that month. So I think that answers the question.
Yep.
What is your favorite way to build leads? I mean, I love to do restaurant promotions. I think I enjoy giving out roses and doing that. I feel like for me, I'm not like a huge warm chatter person. That always just kind of made me very nervous. And it was interesting because Rena Tarbett, who is, you know, like Mary Kay to me. I mean, some of you probably don't even know who she is, but she has passed away now, but she was like Mary Kay Ash's like right-hand lady for a long time. And she even said, like, warm chattering in today's world is just not what it used to be. She's like, because we have so many different sales people out there now that you're not trusted in the same way. So I think, you know, we talk about going up to the cashier and saying, oh, have you ever used Mary Kay before? Because that was kind of how I was trained. Like, oh, you warm chat the cashier at the store and you talk to the lady in line in front of you. And I'm way intimidated to doing any of that stuff. So I always did a lot of booth stuff at stores and restaurants and that kind of stuff. And I've gotten into doing booths at races and stuff now just because statistically they're people in our target market. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the ways I do build my leads. And then I really try to focus on using my customers to get more customers. Because if they trust you and love you, they're going to want all their friends to buy. Because that's kind of how we are as women. Like if we love a sweater from a certain store, we're like, oh, I got this at Nordstrom. Like you have to go get it. Like you love Nordstrom. And so then all of a sudden your friends are like, well, I want to shop at Nordstrom. And then so that happens. So that's how we are as women. That's what we do. Do you have an example of an invoice printout? All right. Actually, I could probably show you. This is what it looks like. But this actually, This actually comes right off of Mary Kay Touch.
I printed too.
Like there's a spot, like when you fill out on Mary Kay Touch, like the customer part, you can click to create an invoice and it will come up and you can either open it as a PDF or you can open it as an Excel spreadsheet. So I usually open up an Excel spreadsheet. So if I need to, add in any discounts or anything like that, I can kind of change and alter whatever I need to. And then I print it out on my pink paper. Let's see, what else do we have on here?
Like, what is your birthday special?
Oh, birthday specials. Oh yeah. Okay. So, I offer my customers 25% off on their purchases for their entire birthday month. And then I do, they get $100 in free product at their appointment if they have 6 people. And then I will also bring a cake. So because they're a current customer, you're likely to have their friends who always trust you. So your sales will usually be a little bit higher because they know you. So yeah.
I love it. Well, Jen, I think that's all the questions that I see. That was so awesome. I took tons of notes and I did record this. So I will, I haven't officially done it yet, but I'm going to upload this to YouTube and I'll get you the link. And so we'll be able to have it for future reference. But thank you so much. I have never even used the Beauty Evite, so I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, no, I love the Beauty Evite. Like you talk about letting a system coach your appointments. Yes,
that is amazing. I've got to check that out. So we have just under a minute left, so I'm going to let you close it up if that's cool.
Yeah, I actually just have one little quote that I'll kind of leave you with. This actually was from Mary Kay Ash herself, and she said that our business is where selling results from a truly personal one-on-one relationship, a friendship. And outstanding sales results depend on the ability to think from the customer's point of view. So you can ponder that and all the things I've shared with you tonight. And if you have other questions, you can always reach out. But I hope you enjoyed my training and I wish you a good week.
Thanks, Jen.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
everyone. Have a great night.